Peyton has so much fight in her. If I was her, I would literally just be like, I can't do it no more. Just take me. Word sticky, like every time I hear it, I'm just like, stop it. I don't think he even likes me. Girl, be quiet. Thank you. Hey, YouTube. I'm back for another video, another fun video. I have mosquito bites. But anyway, today's video is, obviously you can tell by the title. I love saying that. Obviously you can tell by the title. Today's video is me telling you guys all of the books that I've read so far in 2024. So far this year I've read 16 books. These are the only physical copy books that I've read, and the rest have either been I've read them on my phone or I've listened to audiobooks of them. So let's just jump right into the video. My mosquito bites. The first book I read this year, like the first book that I finished this year, even though I'm pretty sure I started it in like the end of 2023, but I finished it in January, is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the last book in the trilogy of the Inheritance Game series, and this one, I think I gave this a 3 or 4 stars. I really loved the first book. Like this was a 5 stars for me. I loved the first book better than the second and the third book, in my opinion. This is when I first really got into tabbing my books. Also, when I read the first book, I didn't think she was going to end up who Avery ended up with. Like, out of Jameson and Grayson, I didn't think that she was going to end up with who she ended up with. Like, in the first book, I wanted her to be with one brother. I don't really want to spoil it, but I wanted her to be with one brother. And then, like, as I kept reading, I was like, the other brother is looking a little bit better. But, I don't know. The second book I read this year was another Ali Hazelwood book. I read Love Theoretically, because I love a STEM, like, I don't care how many, like, if Ali Hazelwood's like theme or plot of her books is a little bit repetitive, because I'm gonna eat it up every single time. I love me Ali Hazelwood book. Honestly, I think I give this like a 4 or 3 star book. It really wasn't that memorable. I feel like I liked Love on the Brain a little bit better. Next book I read like a little series. Like, sometimes when I get in like a little book slump, the thing that fixes me is I go back to my roots. I have to read like a mafia or like a gang type book or type series. My braids, but I'm editing, and I feel like I just understood the psychology of why I like to read mafia books when I'm in a book slump. It's because I feel like they're so fun to read that I could just turn my brain off and just enjoy the book and not have to like really comprehend anything, because I feel like most mafia books are kind of the same. So like I already know what I'm about to be reading, and it's just fun. I started reading the first 2 books of the Maid series by Danielle Laurie. I think that's the author's name. I read The Sweetest Oblivion and The Maddest Obsession. I gave The Sweetest Oblivion 3, and I almost gave The Maddest Obsession 5 stars. I almost did, because that book was so good. Like, when I read a good mafia book, I literally read 1 book a day, like a book a day. I read those books in like 2 days, I'm pretty sure. But mafia books will get me out of a reading slump so fast. If I'm like getting slow to read, or like nothing in my inventory is looking appealing to me, I will pick up a mafia book so fast. The next book I read, I'm pretty sure, is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This book had the trope of the boy has been in love with her for so long, but the girl thinks that he hates her. I don't really know what that trope is called. I don't think that's a specific trope. That might be like a little micro book trope. I had a little like icks about the main character of this book, the girl. She talked so much. Like, I've never wanted a main character to just stop talking in a book than like how this girl, like, I really just want her to be quiet. And every time the main character guy tried to like say something or like explain himself, she always would talk over him, and I'm like, girl, shut up, please be quiet. I gave this book a 4 stars, or like a 4.5. I think it was a 4 stars because the main character was really getting on my nerves. Like no other main character has ever gotten on my nerves like that girl, like seriously. And then when we got like kind of towards the end and they was, you know, like getting it down and freaky in the sheets, she was still like, I don't think he even likes me. Girl, be quiet. Thank you. And I also said her assumptions were crazy. Like, she would think, oh, he thinks I'm so ugly, he thinks I'm this and that. Whole time in his point of view, he's like, this girl is literally so beautiful, she's like the light of my life, I can't stop staring at her, blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, please, if you would let him talk, maybe he would tell you these things. The next book I read was my first Mariana Zapata book. I read Lukov with Love, from Lukov with Love. That book, I almost gave it a 5 stars too. I love that book. It was a big book. It was a slow burn, obviously. This was about, it was like figure skating. I'm pretty sure most of Mariana Zapata books are just like centered around sports. Like Culty, I think, is soccer, and then From the Wall of Winnipeg Me is football. And this one was ice skating, figure skating. And that was just them. I think it was kind of enemies to lovers, kind of. I think it kind of gave enemies to lovers. Obviously, it was a slow burn because that's what Mariana Zapata is like famous for. But this book almost got a 5 stars for me, and I can't wait to read. I was like, I need to read another Mariana Zapata book, and then I pick up another book. I don't understand. The one thing that's kind of straining me is like how long her books are, because obviously it's a slow burn, but the slow be burning. It be burning slow. Okay, the next book I read was a physical one, Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and I tabbed it a little bit, but I mostly just listened to the audiobook of this one. It's really famous. It's about Peyton and Kai. And this world is called Ilia. The world, like the kingdom of Ilia. There's ordinaries, and then there's elites. People have like these powers and stuff. And Peyton is an ordinary living in a kingdom of elites. Ordinaries they have banished them from Ilia, but she's living there like hidden. She's like disguising herself as a psychic. I honestly really think Lauren Roberts has like put like a lot of different books, like took a lot of inspiration from different books and put it into books, like, because some parts kind of gave Hunger Games with the Persian trials and stuff, because I never really understood the point of the Persian trials, because like, shouldn't it have been like, there was no like really reason for it. Like, it should have been like either ordinaries against elites. Like, why is it elites against elites? Like, and people are dying for what? Literally for what though? The author really is obsessed with the word sticky, and I listened to the audiobook, and the word there is not a chapter with Peyton that she's not saying the word sticky. Like, I'm not even joking, 20, 30, 40 times. And I'm just like, you never need to use the word sticky that much. And it really, like, I don't know why it enrages me so much, but it does. If he did, I really liked Kit and Powerless. We're gonna get to my reviews on Reckless, but Powerless, he ate that. It gave me Hunger Games and Shatter Me vibes at the whole setup. So I don't know. I feel like I'm very educated on the world of Shatter Me. Sector 45. Once again, I'm sorry for my air, but like, we're gonna keep going. My next book that I read was The 7-Year Slip by, I put the author's name up there. I forgot the author's name. But this book was about this girl. Her name's Clementine. I remember her name because it's unique. I think it was her aunt, or her grandma. I think it was her aunt. Lived in this apartment, and it was like, it's a magical apartment that when you live in it, sometimes when you step inside, it takes you back 7 years into the past. And she's given the apartment, and when she goes into the apartment, she goes 7 years back in the past, and she meets this man who was living in her aunt's apartment, like her almost letting him live there 7 years ago. And they're like kind of they're seeing each other, like they're talking to each other, and then she goes and she tries to find him in the future. Like he's this popular chef who owns this restaurant that her like it's honestly like kind of like the invisible string theory. Just so along there was some invisible string. The next book I read was Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. This is the second book from like the When in Rome series. I read When in Rome last year, but this one is about, I forgot the main girl's name, but the pop star's bodyguard and her love interest's little sister, where she is like trying to get into dating, but she really doesn't know like how to date, and he was like her like dating coach, but you know how that goes in the end. The next book I read was a physical one, upside down, Normal People by Sally Rooney. Look at the tabs, guys. I had my ups and downs with this book. I liked Marianne, I liked Connell, and I liked Connell's mom, Lorraine, but literally almost everybody else in this book sucked. Also, I get the right person, wrong time trope, but when will it be the right time? Like, when I finished this book, I was literally looking around my room like, where's the cameras? Is this the end? I had like a couple pages of blankness. Literally, like, they wanted me to finish writing the book my damn self. Like, I was like, oh, y'all want me to finish writing it myself? Let me get my pen out, cause what? Like, this is the first book where I busted out a pen and was writing inside. Like, y'all got me messed up. Like, I tabbed this baby down. I was pulling stuff out, underlining shit I've never written in a book before this one. Like, at some point in this book, I thought me and Connell were like the same fucking person. Like, me and Connell were like this. Other times Connell, I'm like, what are you doing? I thought I was gonna have a tough time because Sally Rooney writes her books with no like quotation marks around the dialogue, so I thought it was gonna be a little hard, but it wasn't that hard for me. It wasn't that hard. This book I gave a 4.5 stars. The next book that I listened to, it was an audiobook, was Tom Lake by Anna Patchett. I listened to the audiobook because everyone said that the audiobook was so good because Meryl Streep records it, like she reads it. This audiobook took me a little bit to read because it's not like it's kind of a romance, kind of literary fiction. And this was literally during like COVID time. Like, the book is set during the pandemic, which I didn't know when I started reading. When she talked about the pandemic, I was like, well, the pandemic, but it wasn't the, like, if you want to read it, like, it's really not that, if you really want to read the book, it's not that prominent of a topic where like you're like they talking about it all the time. They're not. The mother is telling her daughters a story of her kind of like first love. The book at some point got to a little standstill to me where everything kind of felt a little repetitive and a little bit boring. I had to kind of push myself through to finish, not to finish it, the ending was okay, but like in that middle mark it was a little slow. I think I gave it like a 3 stars, which it isn't bad. Tom Lake, after that, I had understandably a little bit of a slump after that audiobook. Then I was looking at my TBR, which is over there. Good Girl Bad Blood, which is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. This book is about the same characters, but she has a podcast, and she was talking about everything. She posted a podcast about everything that happened in the first book, and her podcast is so popular, like hundreds of thousands of people are listening to it. And somebody in her town goes missing, and the brother of the person that goes missing comes to Pip and it's like, hey, can you help me find my brother? Like, he's missing and I haven't seen him and I'm really worried something happened to him. And she's like, no, I don't really, like, I can't really help with that, because like the first time was traumatizing enough. Like, she didn't want to be a part of that, but like after the police didn't want to do anything, she had to step in and she started like trying to solve the murder, not the murder, to solve the case, like to figure out. I don't think this book was better, but it was up there with the first one. This book was really good. I gave it a 4 stars. Some stuff I was like, ooh. This was a time again when I needed to get back on the mafia train, the mafia wave. This time I read 3. I read the first 3 books of the Dark Verse, the Predator, the Reaper, and the Emperor. Anyway, I ate them up. I literally read the Predator and the Reaper in 2 days. The main girl's name is Marana. She is like a daughter of this mafia don. No, is it don? Like this mafia like boss. Like he has his own like little something. I don't really know the logistics of the mafia. Tristan Kane, and he is literally like called the Predator. Like everyone is scared of him in like the mafia world. Yeah, the series was good. I liked the first 2 better than, because the Emperor, which is the 3rd book, took a little bit longer for me to get used to because it started off with flashbacks and stuff like that. So I was like, oh. And then the age gap a little bit had me a little like, what's happening here? Like, she's 15 and you're 22. What do you mean you're in love? Not like in love, like big, like I don't know how to explain it really. They weren't together when she was 15. I'm exaggerating the ages a little bit, but it was big enough for me to feel weird about it, you know? And then the last book I just read was Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I didn't read it. I listened to the audiobook. This book was Kai trying... Ooh. I don't know if I should. Low-key kind of a spoiler. But once again, I gave the book a 3.5 stars. I was really entertained listening to the book. I don't know if this was supposed to be classified as enemies to lovers because I have never seen an enemy anywhere. Kai and Peyton have never been enemies. Maybe they were supposed to be like, they're supposed to be enemies because like she's an ordinary and he's an elite. I'm still waiting for Peyton to get some powers. I literally loved Kit in the first book. I could not make myself care about his chapters. I couldn't care about Kit at all. Once it got to the audiobooks of like when Kit started talking, first off I was like, who is talking in my ear? Looked up, Kit. I listened to his first little 2 chapters every time it came up. After a while I don't care about you becoming king. I don't care. Skip. I don't care. Also, Peyton has so much fight in her. If I was her, I would literally just be like, I can't do it no more. Just take me. Like, all this running, all this fighting, just take me back. I don't think that this is a spoiler, but low-key Kai, his ass kind of powerless too. Anyway, now I'm reading, let me get it for you. It's a physical copybook this time. I'm reading Beach Read by Emily Henry. I'm literally this much in, but that was it. That was all 16 of the books I've read so far. My reading goal for this year is 35, so I hope I get to that goal. I'm literally like 3 books behind. But thank you for watching this video. If you made it to the end, I have yet to like really give a book a 5 stars this year. Maybe Beach Read will change that. I have yet to come close to a 5 stars, and it's really making me mad. We're in July. I have not found a 5 stars. What's going on? That's all I gotta talk about today. I'm making an appearance back on YouTube. Thank you for watching this video. You should still like, subscribe. Like, I'm coming back. I'm making an appearance. I need to stop taking such long breaks off of YouTube. I love everyone who subscribes and who likes my videos and watches them to the end and comments. And I love you guys. And I've been depriving all of my beautiful, beautiful supporters of my beautiful, beautiful face. Anyway, thank you. Bye.